Welcome back, tribe. I have one here titled Men Need to Stay in America. Women having meltdowns at men leaving overseas.
What do you think about passport bros? What's your opinion about that concept?
Well, I think that, like they go there because they can't really handle us
Typical.
here,
Okay.
Because we have a lot of, I feel like they can't take the feminism and the fact that we actually speak up for ourselves.
Okay.
And, the fact that we're independent and we do our own and they don't like it.
How do they buy into that narrative that because they're independent, we're somehow scared of them, that we're intimidated? There's nothing intimidating about you being a basic adult. The difference between you and foreign women is they're still feminine. That's the biggest difference. That's why men are leaving. It isn't because you're strong. It isn't because you're independent. It isn't because you stand up for yourself. All those things can be found all over the world. Normal people do that for themselves, including all the women everywhere else. The difference is those other women come to the table, actually meet a man in the middle and create a legacy together. They understand family is more important. They understand kids are more important. They understand that they benefit greatly from supporting their husbands. It's not adversarial. It's not what do you bring to the table? What could you do for me? How can I get the most out of him? None of that. They're not brain rotted by social media and all this other crap they see on TV and the narratives that are being spilled right into her head and fills it up with absolute garbage. It's unfortunate, but the only way you can really see this difference as a man is by getting a passport and going overseas. It doesn't matter how many times I tell you, how many videos you see, you won't really understand the chasm until you go overseas and you get treated with respect. You become appreciated. And the women you talk to are grateful that you took time out of your day, being a decent human being back instead of looking at you like you're some sort of predator, the patriarchy this, and how men ain't ish.
Some people don't like, some men actually do like it, but these men, I don't know why, they're so against it. They don't like to see us shine. I just don't know why.
You heard the thing about the passport thing? The guys that travel because, let's say a guy from Canada that wants a traditional woman, a more traditional relationship.
Qui mange mon
But they probably would like that.
sont méchants.
So you don't like that?
No.
Okay.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
6 inches, 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet tall. He should pay $300 for a first date. He should carry the conversation. I shouldn't have to bring anything to the table but my presence. These are the impossible standards of the average woman in the West. And I mean average in every way.
At a school assembly in Broward College in Australia, all male students were told to stand up and apologize on behalf of their gender for collective ills such as sexual assault. And although the justification was in response to growing concern about treatment of girls at the school, girls were left feeling exposed and upset, while boys were made to feel guilty for being men. And as male student Vinny stated,
I remember
we had
covering
to
that.
apologize for stuff that we didn't actually do.
One boy came home and he said, "Mum, I'm not a rapist. Why have I been forced to apologize for this?"
And in an era where we're encouraging boys and men to be more open, it becomes challenging for them to actually do so when they're still receiving messages that their feelings and perspectives aren't really that valued. And if expressing even slight sensitivity about the male experience is viewed as invalidating the female experience, how can we ever expect to establish healthy communication?
Not only are men not needed, but men are oppressive and masculinity is toxic. When you reduce men to ATMs and women to a uterus, it's no wonder why our society is bankrupt. George, you couldn't have said it any better.
You, they gotta be 6 foot.
Yeah, at least.
Let's say he's 5'9", but if he's standing on his money, he's 7'1". Does that change anything?
If he has money, I would say yeah.
Okay.
But it has to be a lot of money.
How much money we talking?
Maybe like billion.
Oh, $1 billion. Who you? Jeff Bezos? God damn. Your roster deep like that? Hey, got a lot of dudes in your roster?
Yeah.
The Dead Sea is a lake with the high.
If he has money, I would say yeah.
Bro, I'm not the only one who caught the gap.
But if you stand on his...
I don't know if you can see this because it's in the window. That's a gap, homie. You're not dealing with no millionaires. Sorry. Because if someone was taking care of you, that gap would have gotten taken care of. Believe me. Believe me.
Got a lot of dudes in your roster?
A passport bro is a man who has chosen to seek out relationships with foreign women.
That's not really what a passport bro is. We have to detach the whole meaning of it's for women. You're not doing anything in life for a woman. A man is going overseas primarily for the financial freedom he gains becoming a passport bro. What we've noticed, what's getting highlighted, is the fact that your money goes so far that when you go overseas, your value in all the local women's eyes rises to the top because you could afford a family, you can afford to take care of her, and have plenty of leisure time, and go and experience the world, or at least their country, and actually do things. Go out to eat, go to the movies, go to the beach, go to events, go whatever it is that you want to do, you can afford to do that. So, because of this newfound financial freedom, you of course are going to get access to far more women. Would have been the same thing here in the West if you had the delusional standards that they're looking for. If you're a multi-millionaire guy, you would have the absolute same effect. That's just what's happening. That's why guys are noticing this. And on top of that, you get a little boost for being exotic. You do. You're different. You stand out. You're a foreigner. That comes with stereotypes, a lot of them positive for the most part. And when you combine those two characteristics, you get all the newfound success most men are experiencing. We're focusing on the women because we always focus on the women. We're men, and that's what, is constantly riddled in our brains. We're fighting that lizard, that primitive thing that we have in our mind. It's always there. It's get women, get resources, get respect. We're all after it. Of course, when you go into a foreign country and you start to experience a ton of interest from women, you're going to want to share it with all the boys because you've been struggling back home because the delusions are insane. They're not grounded in reality. Nobody's over here driving Ferraris every day, making hundreds of millions of dollars, and then also is going to simp for you and stay at home and rub your feet and tell you what a pretty, beautiful woman you are. Like that guy doesn't even exist. They're all on some fairy tale shit they're seeing from horrible books like some billionaire. What is that? 50 Shades of Grey. Look at that shit. The dude is a billionaire, young, hot dude with like a BDSM kink. Nuts, dude. Seriously. Nothing is grounded in reality. A billionaire. Not just a normal guy next door, not just some dude, a small business owner, not just some guy with like some insane talent or great charisma or something you would find in a normal man. That's commendable. Nope. He's got to be some extreme of something. And that's what they dream of, the extremes. You got to go to a place that's grounded in the real world.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
Racist. That's so sexist to say. That's racist and sexist. First of all, when you travel overseas, you're going to be blown away by the fact that most of the women can speak multiple languages, are also educated, and some of them well-traveled, quite a bit of them. Here in Eastern Europe, in Bucharest, I'm blown away constantly by all the polyglots. There's people that speak like 3, 4, 5 languages, have been well-traveled, have gotten schooling into their masters. Some are doing research work, and these people are in their mid-20s, some hustling hard in their early 20s. To compare a person like that, so well-rounded, and you go to America and see what an average 20 to 25-year-old is like, they can hardly speak proper English. Of all the languages she chose to speak, facts, no cap, yes, queen, energy, vibes, my bestie. And that's like the type, that's how they speak literally to one another. It's pathetic comparing the two. Like we talk about infantilization in the West, you will notice that shit right away when you deal with a mature-minded woman from the rest of the world.
What country did the Vietnam War happen in?
Canada.
Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Japanese.
Do you know what the capital of the USA is?
No.
Well, ladies, can you name 3 countries besides the USA? Real quick, 3 countries.
Asia.
Bumbleclot. Oh my God, bro.
This question. I didn't pay attention to history. Anyway, next.
This is geography.
Africa?
That's not.
Okay, then what's the say, ladies?
Oh, wait, is that Asia?
Himalayas.
What? Okay. All right. Okay. One more.
Antarctica.
Many of those women don't even see the value of education anyway. They're just using it to argue. They traded in that college degree for an OnlyFans account a long time ago. They also say that the only reason she would date you is to get a US citizenship. This is complete nonsense. I don't know if you've been under a rock for the last 10 years, but have you noticed how much of a dumpster fire that the US has become? In the 90s and early 2000s, the US was the most sought-after place to live in the world, the land of opportunity. Now, it's a woke fever dream where nobody knows what a woman is and every house costs more than you could afford in 100 years.
That's a fact. Look, I just brought my parents back to the country. That was a lifelong goal to retire my father. Finally did. We've talked about it on the channel before, I think since last year. Finally made it happen. I can tell you now, their first few days in the country, It's nothing like they remember leaving the communist times. The streets are clean. The people are nice. The food is amazing. It's like being in peak 1990s America. That's what it feels like. People on the streets, pregnant women everywhere, families everywhere. Just a wholesome family atmosphere in the entire country. Very Christian too, by the way. There's, we're in the season and I see nothing but Christmas decorations, Santa Claus stuff, gifts, trees lit up. That's been missing in America. Before we left, maybe 1 or 2 houses lit up anything in the entire neighborhood. It used to be almost every single house put up lights. Almost every single house, you could see a Christmas tree through the window. Not anymore. Over here, it's chock full of that stuff everywhere. Even in public spaces. All the shops, all the little stores, the sidewalks, everything is decorated. It's gorgeous. It's like reliving the 90s, dude. All the best parts of it. Incredible.
People from other countries can't stop watching the US political shit show because it's funnier and more creative than reality TV.
Yeah. And when you do get a woman overseas, they're not interested in coming to the United States. The world has modernized so much has caught up to America that the difference has become minuscule at best. And when you have money, you can get access to anything anyways these days because of globalization. There's nothing you can't get when you have money. It's all there. All the major corporations from all the major countries are in every single place. You are missing nothing.
9 times out of 10, you are not getting these men in their prime. And the reason why this garbage started in the first place is because these passport bros went around and said, oh, look at this other group of women. They're so much better than you. And that will naturally put anyone on the defense.
It's so hurt.
About these foreign women talking about, I got your man. Girl, those girls, as soon as they get that visa, they're going to be gone in 24 weeks, if not 3 months. Because guess what? They're going to realize that those guys were discarded and unwanted for a reason.
Look, when you say that you're a passport bro, I'm just keeping it real. When you say that, you are publicly admitting that you don't have the personality, social skills, or the confidence to get a lady in your country.
Y'all will buy a plane ticket to go to another country to pay a woman or a femme-presenting person to have adult relations with you. But tell me something, incel black men, you red pill popping, podcast watching, pathetic excuses for men. Tell me this. If y'all are so desirable, right? If y'all are what every woman wants, why y'all got to go so far and work so hard and spend so much money just to find a woman to lay down with?
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
I feel like in other cultures, a lot of women are more submissive.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
It's a little bit more stricter on women, so like they can't really like do what they want to as far as going outside.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
Men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education. It's because they want a woman who is dependent on them.
You think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
I think they're doing what...
Why do they say dependent? We want a woman we can work with. We want a woman we can build with. We want a woman we can start a family with. That's the whole point of marriage. That's the whole point of settling down with somebody. Starting a family, building a legacy, working together. There is no detriment to this relationship as a woman. They don't understand this though, because most of these women that are speaking, most of these women making these videos, you have to understand, they are from single mother homes. They never had a father present. Not only did they never have a father present, they never had a man present. There's no uncle, no grandpa, nobody, not a good role model, male role model in their lives, their entire lives. And then when they go and meet men, when they become sexually active, because they have no internal gauge of how to correctly vet a man, they fall for all those falsities of what a real man is, which is usually encapsulated in bad boys, the loud, the emotional, the aggressive ones, that constantly get in trouble and break all the rules. And in her mind, that seems like the alpha male. But we know as men, when you're raised by a strong man, that the bad boys are just boys on the inside crying for help, for respect, for adoration, to be seen and to be loved, because their fathers most likely stepped out on their lives, because most of the problem boys are boys that are raised with no fathers. So they act out to gain respect, to prove their manhood, mostly to other men. But unfortunately, a woman who doesn't have that internal compass correctly tuned to what a real man is finds that attractive, because she's never been around a real man in her life. If you speak to women that come from stable homes, if you speak to women that have had strong fathers in their lives, they're completely turned off by those loudmouth, emotional types. They look for the strong, silent dude that can work with his hands, takes care of his business, is respectful. Like is non-reactive, not emotional, means what he says what he means, right? Like you can differentiate between these kinds of men very easily when your compass works properly. Unfortunately, in the West, there are more and more women, especially with indoctrination, because you have to think of it like this, man. Of all the households, how many of them are single parents and how many of them have a weak father? So it's not just that you have a father present. He has to actually be strong and lead the family. Most guys in the West are probably on the simpy side. Most of them are very effeminate. They've been beaten down by the indoctrination. So a majority of households, if we say a third of them are single parent now, then 2/3 of them are probably have a bad male role model or none at all. So that means 1/3 at best, has the proper masculine figure at home to teach them correctly what a man's value is and what he brings to the table and how to treat and speak to and communicate with a man. We're in deep shit. Those are not good numbers. This is why the message is shifting further and further and further, and they're becoming more entrenched and more radicalized in their messaging. Because the generations, as they're coming up through these statistics that are constantly worse and worse and worse, they're becoming more and more disconnected. They're losing their ability to see what men are good for. It's wild, dude. We're watching it happen in real time. And people think this trend is just going to reverse. The smart ones know it's not going to reverse. This damage is generational. It's going to take a lot to fix this shit. We're seeing little rumblings of it, but who wants to be the guy, needle in a haystack style, putting in a ton of work for returns that are non-existent when you can go overseas, free yourself financially, be able to take care of a family, and meet a woman who's going to actually respect you, who's going to want to start a family, who loves kids, who knows the importance of working together, was raised around an extended family, just well-mannered, well-cultured, and most likely well-educated as well. I mean, the decision's super easy to make.
They think they're supposed to.
Well, you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
Well, I'm just asking on behalf of those
emotional damage.
Go for it.
Well, I'm just.
What happened to I'm right here?
You'll hear on these videos them saying, only the dusties are leaving, which suggests that the only reason why a guy would go to Thailand for a wife is because he's broke. There are so many good reasons why the passport bro trend exists.
Get your passports. No feminism. No negativity from the media. No male bashing. No gender war. No stress. I wake up to this type of peace every morning. Since I've been overseas living my best life, I have absolutely no idea of what's been going on in the States because I'm too busy soaking up all the peace. My God, I love being a passport bro. I'll be back soon to bring you guys more heat, but until then.
Passport bros.
Western women are less likely to be faithful and loyal to you. Dating apps have completely destroyed the dating market. The vast majority of people meet through dating apps now. And if you've matched with a woman on a dating app, you can guarantee that she's got hundreds of other guys DMing her at the same time. That's a lot of options. A lot of life rafts she can jump on when things get bumpy. And if she's a good-looking woman, chances are she's experienced a guy in the top 10% at least once. And that's secretly where her standards are. That's where her mind is going to be. She might be your girlfriend, but when you guys argue, she's straight away going to be thinking about the top-tier chat she could have had. And if she's got her single girlies on Instagram showing off their exotic travel and expensive dinners, the grass is going to be greener on the other side.
Yep. Comparison is the thief of joy, especially when she's been getting pumped and dumped by top tier males that will never commit. But she takes their sexual interest as intimate interest, as long-term relationship material. Not at all. You're just getting used up. You're a piece of meat in these guys' eyes. But that experience is so visceral because that man is so attractive and so wanted. And you actually had a piece of him, a piece of his time, even for a little bit, is worth its weight in gold to her. Unfortunately, that dude probably doesn't even remember what her name is the next day because he's got another one lined up. They don't understand the power dynamics that they're dealing with, and the consequences are brutal because it damages them from ever being happy with a normal, good man that would treat them exactly how they want to be treated. Everything they ask for, it's there. It's all around them. They've passed up a ton of good guys. But the one experience on that boat, the one time getting flown out, that one high status male with a blue check mark or whatever little fame, game over, dude. The bar has been set and you're never going to reach it again.
Being willing to walk away. And that explains it all.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
What the hell? Okay, and then I hate a man who know they work, because that just is aggravating.
Ladies, don't kill me for this, but women hate for a man to know his worth. We don't like that shit. Nigga come around thinking he know his worth. Oh, he too good for this, he too good for that. A man that know his worth ain't gonna let us play with him. And I don't like that. Me personally, I don't like that. Nigga, I need you to come around not knowing shit.
I don't like men who know their worth. Like, I hate y'all. I hate men who know their worth. They be like, I don't gotta deal with girl shit.
As a woman, dealing with a man who knows his worth is literally like the most like humbling experience ever, because he will literally cut your ass off.
Society's always telling women, know your worth, know your worth, know your worth. But we act like men aren't supposed to know their worth. And people take issue when a man knows his worth.
Let's see what some of the comments say. Getting rejected and left behind by the men they once called broke, losers, dusty, scrubs, and thirsty is the ultimate insult, and they can't handle it. They chased away their best chance of finding a good man, and they apparently don't know how to stop. Bravo, girls. You managed to eliminate Pookie and Ray Ray's competition. Good luck with them and their kids and your cats. If you make yourself completely insufferable to be around and reinforce over and over again that you don't need men at all, why are you getting all up in arms when the men respect your wishes? Leave you alone and find partners who will respect them elsewhere. That's what you wanted, no? That's what you're fighting for as a modern woman, right? To be left alone, fighting against the patriarchy and traditional gender roles because you're strong, independent women who don't need no man. And this one, I like this one. Instead of asking why passport bros exist, they should ask why there's no foreigners looking for Western women to marry. The market corrects itself. And that's a good point. Despite all this stuff happening and the light being shown on men doing this stuff and going overseas because social media has enabled us to peer in everybody's lives, you're not seeing the same thing happening with women. There are no men coming into Western countries to marry Western women. There are no videos of Western women showing all the foreign guys they're getting. At best, they're getting pumped into, like, you'll see this video. Chick goes to like Mykonos and goes, wow, all the attractive Greek men here. I'm in paradise. Never posts a man though. Never posts the guy that's pumping and dumping them in Mykonos on her girls trip, because that guy wants nothing to do with her. His sexual interest is not romantic interest. She got used. She had her girls' night, her girls' fun, girls' trip, escapades, and it's done. That guy cuts her off and he moves on to the next chick. They don't get what they want out of men, which is commitment. But a man is getting everything he wants out of a woman, which is sex. And so they're losing the game. They don't go overseas and snag a foreign man to commit to them and marry them. Sex is easy to get for a woman. It's no effort whatsoever. They can go overseas and get as much of it as they want. But commitment is a whole nother beast, and they fail completely because the guys in those foreign countries look at them and go, the only thing that's good about her is bedroom acrobatics. I could never bring this woman home to my parents. I could never introduce this woman to my mama. I would be the laughing stock of my country, my family, my friends, my town, if I got down on one knee and put a ring on this floozy. That's how they look at Western women. Don't believe me? Talk to some foreign men. Ladies, you don't want to hear the truth because it hurts. But you're not anybody's first choice in the West for marriage material. I don't make the rules, bro. I'm just calling it like I see it. Prove me wrong. Make videos of a movement of women going overseas and getting married to foreign men. Please show me. I'll eat my own words. Until then, good luck. We'll see you on the next one. Hey everyone, if you have a minute, please head over to legionofmen.store and grab yourself some cool merch as well. We have a bunch of limited edition designs, brand new stuff on the way, and all the proceeds go to supporting the channel. We don't want to be sponsored by corporations where we have to submit videos for review, have our speech impeded, or push any products that we don't use. So thank you so much to everybody that goes into the shop. Again, it's legionofmen.store. I'll put it up here for you guys. First time customers get a 10% off, and we have a bunch of great designs by artists from the community that watch the channel and support. They get proceeds as well, a percentage of everything that gets sold. So community funded through and through. Again, appreciate you guys.